Welcome to the JPT Sub, everyone. We're about a week and a half into 2026, and it's the time to discuss the changes that I'm planning for this year for the layout. Speaking of changes, you may have noticed I added a new logo for the channel at the beginning, and I've also changed the premiere time for the videos from Sunday nights at 7 p.m. Eastern to Saturday mornings at 8 a.m. Eastern. That seemed to fit better with when folks are viewing videos and online more. So hopefully you like that change. You can let me know what you think in the comments. And then on the layout, so lots of changes to this whole front section of the layout here. Starting from the back to the front, some of it's just general maintenance things that needed to be done. Some of it's little upgrades. Starting with this water tower right here, has a flashing strobe on it that has never been hooked up. Getting that hooked up is probably one of the first things I'm going to do. This water tower wasn't made for a strobe light, but I think it would be pretty easy to add one. And I think I would like to do that too. That way both of the two tallest points would have strobe lights on them up here. And then, as long as we're on the category of lights, at the end of this street here where there's a railroad crossing back here, I'm going to put some of these, one of these flashing crossing signals back here. I feel like that'll look pretty good because if you're looking down low, looking down this street, it'll give you a nice between the buildings look of the flashing lights and the train going across the crossing back there. Which leads us to, as long as we're talking about lights again, this building, which is Pat's Pizza. This building is Randall's Golf Shop. Both of those, the light has burnt out in those buildings, so that needs to be replaced. But it's also an opportunity for like all of these buildings to get new lighting. So I've been experimenting with LED lighting, so I'm probably going to try and upgrade the lighting in these buildings. And it's a perfect time to do that because I also want to redo the roads. I've been talking about that for over a year now, about redoing all the roads on the layout. I did during 2025 get this front road redone, kind of a not brand spanking new, but fairly new looking pavement, not really worn. I really like that look, so I'm going to stick with that look for my other roads. So we'll redo that road. And this road across the front of the buildings and down this side street is going to stay the same. I really like this seam with this Dairy Queen, so I may leave that little nook there like that instead of and not make any changes here, even though this trackage is going to change here. But when the trackage changes, that'll change this crossing, and what it may change here is where it meets that road and the intersection comes in. And who knows, we may add some traffic lights there as well. So, but up here in the front, one of the things I want to do is I want to put a set of points here, or turnout, whichever you want to call it, going this way. And matter of fact, it might be easier just to set the track components on here for a minute for you guys to see it, to see kind of what I have in mind with this, and that's going to be here. So basically what we're going to do is we're putting a diamond in here. This side, this switch, and this siding will go away. Or, well, it'll just move up to here. Probably only going to go down to about right here. And this building will move up, kind of up into this space. And this one, not sure what's going to happen with that building just yet. But that'll free up some space here. So maybe the entrance into that building and parking lot would be coming off this street right there. Then here, what I'm thinking is, this will be a single track up to about right here. Then I'm going to turn it this direction. I'm just going to lay this down here so you guys can kind of get an idea. Pull this out of the way. bring that siding straight down to this side of the scrapyard. And even though the scrapyard is very narrow, I can kind of extend it out a little bit. And I may be able to put the other turnout after the crossing, because that'll move the crossing up to here where it's almost more straight, no turn anymore. And put the other turnout here, the one from there, put it here. So I have the two tracks, one for the scrap used by the scrapyard, and one for shift the propane dealer up, maybe this way up a little bit. And the recycle center may move. We'll see if it'll fit on this side of the tracks, maybe. Not really sure how that's going to play out yet, but that may also leave a little space here for we'll put the Waffle House in here next to where the under construction Starbucks is. Kind of bring a little more life to that little part of the layout to the town here. I feel like that's going to be a nice change to the flow and feel of the layout. It'll also make this a little more operationally useful, because I'll be able to instead of having one track for the propane dealer and one that's just almost a team track, or just a useless siding that's no access for any use, kind of put that to use up here. And I probably won't have to come as far down as I did, maybe just to about here with both of those. So we'll see how that goes as we get closer. I'm still trying to draw that out and get it in my head exactly how I'm going to make the changes. But then as we look at this end, this area back here, kind of, if you almost like from this building, in front of the backdrop in here, after the end of the little cemetery back here, that area has never really been finished in. It doesn't show that much because of all the buildings and trees and things are in the way, but when you're standing up looking down on it, yeah, you can see it. But this grain elevator's kind of just been here, tying up space, partly because I didn't have anywhere to put it, but I wanted it out. But I think I'm going to remove this from the layout, and with this building shifted up, that's going to allow this street to come straight down through here, maybe a little bit of an angle here more. And there's I think you can see it in the video here, there's where this street goes off where the police car is with the lights on. Make that kind of a street here, and then this becomes a straight connector street between the two. And get a new crossing here. Chance to put more crossing signals, yay. And then it also kind of cleans up this area a little bit, makes the shots from the end with the grain elevator and the tracks on the other side a little better as well. I think that's going to make it a lot more user-friendly. Also, it'll make it easier to switch this track without having to switch back. It'll be coming off the main. So that'll make that a little more for operationally setting out and picking up cars. Just overall, it's going to help the flow of the layout, I think. So, and then this area in front of the road for now, we've talked about that in the recent videos where I just kind of filled it in with grass. I'm not really sure if I want to do anything with that or if I'm going to leave it like that. I thought about actually making a culvert here, like that turned under the road, and having a ditch down through here, and maybe a culvert at some point here going back the other way, so that it looks like it comes under the road and down this side and then back under the road going away. So we'll see if I add that into my project list for this year. Then I've been talking about it for a year or two. I really am going to learn how to use my static grass machine this year, static grass applicator, and do something with this area. And more, I'm almost thinking about fencing it in and putting either some cows, some horses, or maybe some sheep even. Some sheep might be cool actually, if I can find some good ones kind of in this area. Might be cool, or I might just leave it like that with just static grass on it. Who knows? We'll see. We'll see how that one goes, because I really haven't planned that out. But I really need to do something with this area just to dress it up a little bit. I mean, it looks nice how it is, but a little static grass on it might make it pop a little bit. The park's going to stay the same. The tower, the tower here is how it's going to be. I'll finish this little walkway across here and maybe add a few more details around it. But this corner is pretty much going to stay like it is. The little boat area here is going to stay the same. So yeah, that's going to be a big changes. And this is by the way, when I do the roads, this is a Rapido bus that has the lighting in it. These are one of the 4 Amazon buses with lighting in it that I got. All of those are going to be wired up properly. I'm going to add more cars with headlights. Not every car will have lights on, but some will, some won't. So it'll kind of be a nice mix out there, because, I mean, daytime you see people driving with their headlights on all the time. So should work well. And yeah, that's going to get us going in 2026. And for now, that is all of my plans for this side of the layout. On the other side of the layout, it's only for right now, my only thoughts are redoing roads. But as I kind of formulate, if I want to make any changes over there on tracks or anything like that, I'll add that to a video later on. So, but for now, we're here. We've got this side. I think we'll maybe watch a few trains run at this point, and then we'll come back. We'll do a little bit of a running session, then we'll come back and we'll see which particular project we're going to start on. Like I said, somewhere in the back here, we'll figure out what we're going to do. All right, we're back from watching those few trains run there, and we're going to start pulling up this road here, and you can tell I've already started prying it up here, so we're going to pull these sections out. Probably need to use my pry bar, but then next up we'll take this kind of section out here, and then we'll work on this, get this part done first, and then we'll work our way down this direction here. So here we go. No turning back. Okay, so freehanding it here, you can see we got this street section pulled out here. Went a little past there because that's where the break was in the street that was there. So kind of work our way into fixing that into a roadway now. So I'm thinking when I get the crossing signals put down through here, that's going to actually be a pretty cool shot. So we'll see. I cut out some road sections here and just some temporary stuff just to lay in there and see how it's going to look. And yeah, I think this is going to work. I mean, wow, just that kind of first coat painted plastic laying there instead of the old roads that were there looks 100 times better already. It's amazing what a change this is going to be. Now that I'm laying it out, though, I'm thinking I may even do more and reconfigure how the buildings are laid out even. Not 100% sure on that yet, but definitely going to look at some ideas here next. But first thing, though, is you can see here in front of us, there's I got to take some of these details and things off the layout to kind of get them out of the way while I work. So the first thing is getting the cars off the layout, and I figured, hey, I might as well run some trains at the same time and switch out some cars, and something you guys normally don't see me do. So there's the two propane tank cars there at the propane dealer. Behind them's an articulated container flat that's got some of those waste containers that you put contaminated dirt and stuff like that in to ship. And then down at this end here, there's couple of boxcars spotted at these two businesses, so we'll pick those up first, and then we'll come back into the sidings and get that. That way you can kind of see something running on every track actually before I take some of these tracks out. So we'll see. We've got a Atlas B23-7 that we're going to use for our switching maneuvers here, running in. This unit is DCC equipped but not sound. It was one that, it was actually the first unit I tried to do DCC in, and honestly I did a absolutely horrible job and couldn't get the unit back together the right way. And a friend of mine, Alan, helped put it back together and did a great job, and it's running. And since then I've been able to do it successfully, and with some tips from him and a little bit of practice. But I still have one unit that I didn't get right that I'm going to have to figure out at some point here. So also, here's a thing right here. I went through what looks like a crossover there to do this reverse move in here to get this. But somebody had asked me about that, about why I didn't have the switches line set up to throw both at the same time, and that's because actually I don't need to throw both at the same time. And that probably, by not throwing them both at the same time, I guess I do save a little wear and tear on the switch machines. But also I can run an engine up into that siding and back down into this siding where this is at. And while I'm working there, I could technically run a train up the other siding. And all right, so here we go. This is something else I wanted to talk about that's going to go away with the track reconfiguration. Is you saw how the cars kind of separated there. There is here where this signal relay box is, and here where this one is, and one here actually also, there's track uncoupling magnets underneath there, the Bachmann brand, and they work like super good. These cars don't want to really couple that good anyway. They almost work, they really almost work too good. And cars actually with metal wheels will not even at a slow speed will just stop right there. So while the magnets worked as intended, they were actually too good. So kind of wasn't what I needed. So they're going to come out, and I'm probably not going to put them back in because I really didn't use them anyway. So We'll see what we got here. We can come back onto the main here. All right, so we're going to stop here and drop these two cars. All right, so now we're going to run around and pick them up from the other side here. There you go. They also kind of become like spacer cars at this point too, so we're going to pick up the rest of the cars in here. All right. So I didn't have to throw any the other switches, just that one to get back in here because I'd left the other two lined how I needed them. So we'll get our container flat first. There we go, that got them on that couple. And we'll pull down here. We'll reverse back in, get our tank cars. See if we can do it without derailing anything here. This container flat almost never runs, so it's actually a metal kit from Alan Curtis models from way back in the day. I think a gentleman named Peter runs N-scale kits now out of England that still makes this car. All right, let's see if we got our coupling here. Looks like we got a good coupling there, so we'll pull it out. All right, here we go. So we've got our train built up, sidings cleared. That's another step toward finishing things up here. Okay, everybody, at this point, I think this is about the spot where I'm going to call it on the layout for this video. When we come back, we're going to be looking at putting the crossing signal in back here. I doubt I'll show you guys wiring this up, but hopefully it'll be wired up. Make the decision actually on this road before I put the crossing signal in, but we'll talk about that in the next video. And we might even put some traffic lights here. We'll see how that goes. But there's a lot of details to pull off the layout next, and try and keep them somewhat organized so that if I know what goes with what. And with that, I'd like to thank you guys for watching, and hope you enjoyed it. And yeah, if you did, click the like button. Would love to hear any comments or thoughts that you have on what I'm getting ready to do here, or in the process of doing here, I should say. So be sure to drop those in the comments section below. And again, thank you, and we'll see you next time right here on the JPT Sub.